Hello, movie lovers. Welcome back to the Apocaflix Movie News Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Bartley, and I'm back here again with Gio Ramos and Jake Berlin. Gio, how you doing, man?
I'll be a lot better a week from now.
A week from now? I wonder why.
Star Wars, baby.
Jake, how's it going, man?
Good. Glad to be talking movies. Yeah, I mean, all we can really think about is Star Wars. So.
Exactly.
But I'm happy to be talking with a bunch of good stuff we can talk about today.
Everything Star Wars, I'm sure everyone out there is feeling it too. All the commercials, every single store you walk into has something to do with Star Wars, which it's pretty awesome. It's the world I always wanted to live in. But aside from Star Wars, we got some pretty cool news topics to talk about today. For those of you who don't know how this works, Gio Ramos, he picks out the movie news stories and sends us the notes, and he runs them down for us. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Gio, what do we got first?
Well, this broke earlier this morning, the first teaser trailer for X-Men Apocalypse. This is Bryan Singer's fourth X-Men film?
Yes.
Fourth X-Men film, possibly his last, but we get glimpses of Apocalypse, the younger cast, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Nightcrawler, along with the Four Horsemen, Magneto,
Archangel, Psylocke,
everyone,
and
Storm,
yeah, and Professor X, Magneto, everybody. So, what do you guys think of this first teaser trailer?
All right, so if it's a teaser trailer, then I'm fine with it. If it's supposed to be like an official trailer, then I don't know. I was a little disappointed.
It's a teaser.
But don't get me wrong. I love the X-Men, just the property in general. I grew up on the cartoons. It was the first legit comic book movie to me, the 2000 X-Men movie.
Yes.
So I'm already like very invested in this franchise, and Days of Future Past was so great. So I'm totally looking forward to the movie. I have such high expectations, which is not good, but I trust Bryan Singer. But for this trailer, it was all right. Like, I love the imagery of just, seeing the Cyclops use his powers, and I love seeing the team together, like, on the jet, and I paused it, and so on the X-Men team, it looks like they're going to save Professor X, in a way.
I think it's the moment after Magneto lifts him up.
Yeah, so they take him.
I like the team that they have there.
Yeah, so
the team is really cool.
It was Jean Grey, Cyclops, Quicksilver, Beast, Mystique, and then what's her name?
Moira McTaggart. But I think we'll see Jean Grey and Nightcrawler. I think they're there somewhere as well.
Oh, Jean Grey was on the ship with them.
She's
sitting next to Cyclops.
Okay, I think Nightcrawler's there as well somewhere too.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because he's in a shot.
He's in a shot. The ship.
Well, he's in a shot with Jean Grey and Cyclops later in the trailer.
Yeah, so we'll see. But there was a lot of things to like about this trailer, but I'm still not sold on Apocalypse himself. I'm still not. Look, Oscar Isaac is a phenomenal actor. Couldn't have chose a better actor to play this role. But I just don't like they were showing all these quick images and trying to hide Apocalypse's face, and I didn't feel that intimidation they were trying to build up. So I'm still very much looking forward to the movie, but as a trailer, it was a little disappointing, honestly.
What about you, Jake?
I thought it was killer. I mean, there were a few things here. I agree with the Apocalypse thing. His look is getting better though. He's not purple anymore.
And they didn't really show his face.
Yeah, so you can't really tell what he really looks like. There was the clear shot at the end where he's up in the sky. He's kind of looking up. You get a little glimpse of him. But yeah, I'm not sold on him yet because, Apocalypse is the X-Men. He's the X-Men's Joker.
Their biggest foe.
He's
right?
their Joker.
Yeah.
He's the villain to the X-Men. And this storyline is arguably the greatest X-Men storyline ever in comics. So hopefully, my only issue is that I hope it lives up to it. That's the only thing I'm crossing my fingers for. But as for the trailer itself, I thought it was really cool. There's some good stuff in there. Like you said, seeing all the young X-Men is really cool. I love how it opened with Jean Grey. Because I think she's going to be a very central part of
I totally buy her as Jean Grey, by the way.
Yeah, Sophie... I
forget her name, but...
Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones. Yeah,
Game of Thrones, yeah.
I think it was really cool. I think she's going to be a center part. I love Ty Sheridan as Cyclops.
Yeah, he looks good.
Alexandria's ship is Storm. That scene where the lightning comes down at her and I love that she's a bad guy in this movie too.
Oh yeah, the Mohawk.
Yeah,
Like I loved all those moments. I didn't feel like I didn't see anything that like got me jumping up and down. You know?
Yeah. I wrote the trailer up this morning, but I had said that my favorite part of the trailer was seeing how they took advantage of the new timeline, meaning Mystique is now the leader. Like she is taking over this leadership role, and like I love the moment where she said, then like something about your powers, don't fight it. This is war.
Oh, he's like, some of us can't control our powers.
Yes.
She's like, then
don't. This is war. Like I love that moment.
That's
it was
awesome,
so cool.
Dude. And what a better act. You can't get a better actress to play that
like
role.
she's awesome. But there's another line in the trailer where they were talking about Apocaflix, like how he's the first mutant, and then they said something about the 4 horsemen from the Bible, Apocalypse. And she goes, maybe the Bible got it from him.
That would make sense.
That was very, very cool. Like that was probably the best line in the trailer for me.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, if it's a teaser trailer, it works. If it's a trailer, I'm cool with it. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing more on it. I mean, obviously after Days of Future Past and Bryan Singer, it's gonna kill. So
one more thing, seeing Professor X at the end.
I do want to talk about that though. I don't think it was needed. Like, I thought it was kind of just shoehorned in there.
I agree with that, but regardless, I think he looks awesome.
Oh, he looks awesome. But
he looks just like
But it was
Professor
just like,
X.
it was like, oh, now he's going to turn into the bulb. Like, it didn't need to be in there. Like, it was kind of just
kind of like showing Wonder Woman at the end of the Batman vs.
Yeah,
Superman
it was
trailer
just
in a way.
It wasn't needed. It kind of took me out of everything that happened in the trailer.
You'd rather see that in the movie.
Yeah, so I'm fine with it. It didn't take me away, but I just felt like it was just kind of put in there to be in there.
What about you, Gio?
Well, this teaser trailer, according to Bryan Singer, was partially going to pay homage to, because this will be the culmination of all 6 X-Men films. So what we saw at the end is a little tease of how I think they're going to end the films with Professor X finally going bald in the wheelchair, which is the same wheelchair from the original 2000 X-Men.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I think it'll end. I think it'll be like everything will go down, and it'll cut to 10 years later, and that'll be
team.
Well, that'll be like 5 years before the events of 2000 of the original X-Men or something like that. Like I have a feeling it's gonna cut to years later, right before the events of the 2000 X-Men, and we'll see Sophie Turner, Ty Sheridan, like the original X-Men team together from 2000. And maybe the very last scene in the movie is Wolverine showing up with Rogue.
Like Hugh Jackman?
Yeah, like maybe that's his cameo.
Dude.
That means he would win the bet. But
he's going to make a cameo.
I'm not so sure about that. I'm just throwing a theory out there. So.
I mean, on an epic scale, this is a good trailer, but I thought it did a little bit too much. Apocalypse did not give that kind of build-up I was expecting, because this is Apocalypse. You know, this is the villain we've all been waiting for, the baddest villain, like straight-up villain. Like, other than him, we've had Kevin Bacon from X-Men First Class.
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but
yeah, Shaw, right, or something like that.
Yeah, that was his like human name.
Right. So I mean, it was good on an epic scale, but I thought it showed a little bit too much going on. But it will be exciting to see the X-Men finally work together as a team. That's what I was feeling, like that kind of vibe, seeing Storm's, I mean, she's on the other side, but Jean Grey, Cyclops, Nightcrawler, all of them working together as a team.
Well, up until this point,
it's been Hugh Jackman.
Well, other than the futuristic scenes from Days of Future Past,
which were probably the best scenes,
we haven't really seen the X-Men like together,
fighting together,
like a full team. Like we saw the moments in X3, like where they were fighting.
The end of the first X-Men movie.
There were moments, but like a full-on fledged comic book lore.
Okay, you're right.
This is like the first moment where we're gonna see them kind of like go at it.
Well, X3 tried to do.
Yeah, but there wasn't Jean Grey. There was no Cyclops. Like they weren't the main.
No, you're right. You're right.
And to see him, like, it's almost like a Civil War type thing, because it's Archangel, Magneto, Storm, and Psylocke versus Cyclops, Jean Grey, Mystique. It's like,
and I love that. I do, because it's a formidable opponent. You know?
Yeah, so it's gonna be very cool, because it's gonna be like they're gonna go full on war with this movie. I hope, at least, because that's what it should be. I mean, it's called X-Men Apocalypse, for God's sake.
Yeah, so. I just hope the next trailer. Like, I want to be scared of Apocalypse, and I didn't feel that in this trailer.
No, I agree with you, but here's the thing: we will be seeing it in a week. It's gonna be attached to Star Wars.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll play differently on the big screen.
Yeah, and maybe.
So
yeah. Well, let's move on to the next trailer, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The second one, we got the first trailer. We got to see characters like Casey Jones, Bebop and Rocksteady, oh yeah. And the Turtles are back. So the first trailer released. Jake, why don't we start with you? What did you think of this trailer?
So the first movie, I went in with an open mind, and even though I didn't like certain things, like the way the turtles looked, because they didn't look like teenagers and stuff like this, but I came out okay with it. Like, I like what they were trying to do with it. I freaking enjoyed the hell out of this trailer. Like, I had a really good time with it. And all this, like, all the information for the trailer was coming out after the trailer release. Like, they're going to show more turtles this time around. And the cast, like, they vowed that they're trying to make the movie better because they knew that they screwed up on the first one or whatever. But as for the trailer, I thought it was a really good time. The turtles, they look better than ever. I mean, they're having fun. It's going to be really cool because this movie, the turtles are now out in the open. They're now, like, almost full-fledged.
They're out of the shadows, bro.
Yeah, hence the the movie title. But they're like New York City superheroes, and it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that. And as for Bebop and Rocksteady, like, whatever, I don't think that they're the coolest looking things.
Agreed.
I mean, I guess I have to see more of them to really get an idea about it. But my favorite part, man, Stephen Amell's Casey Jones. From the moment I heard about his casting, I've been so excited. Casey Jones is by far my favorite part about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And to see him, who plays a superhero on a TV show, come and play a guy like Casey Jones, waving a hockey stick around and beating ninjas up and stuff like this, like, it is so cool. But that scene where he's on rollerblades, rollerblading away from Rocksteady, is probably the coolest moment in the trailer for
awesome.
me. And he looks so, like, he's got the hockey stick in front of him. It's just like full on.
And he's like hitting the puck up and swinging.
Yeah, it is like so
man.
Cool. I think it's gonna be like, this movie. It looks like it can be a really, really good movie, and they can build off of what the first one did. And it could be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie we've always wanted. I mean, in the Megan Fox, the hottie, of course, with School Rock, stuff like that. The trailer was good. I thought it was a lot of fun. There were a few things here and there, but I mean, overall, I thought it was a really good time, and it has me excited for the second one. And it has me even more excited because it's a June release date, so it's positive.
That's usually the time when blockbuster movies take a little bit of a slow before July hits.
Yeah.
Jacob.
If you would have told me a week ago that I would enjoy the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trailer way more than the Apocaflix trailer, I would have thought you were crazy, but that's the case today. I love this trailer. I think, so the first movie, not a great film, not a good movie. It's decent, but they did a lot of things right. I thought the Turtles, the way they look and their relationship and their banter, I thought they knocked that out of the park. So all you have to do is take that and then continue into another story. And the weak parts were the villains and, maybe Megan Fox and Will Arnett. But I feel like with this new one, they brought in a new actor to play Shredder, right?
Brian T.
He seems like he's going to do a lot better job. And I feel like they're going to focus more on making the villains like not just one-note characters. And I think having Casey Jones involved with
April O'Neil,
and I don't know Will Arnett's character's name, but like just them two as the humans along with the turtles was kind of like I don't really care. But with Casey Jones involved in that little trio,
he's like their sidekick basically.
Yeah, I know, and so that gets me so excited. Like even with it showed them three in the car driving together, like I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like I didn't care about April O'Neil and other dude in the last movie, but with them three, I think it's going to be a lot better. And I'm a huge Arrow fan. I'm a huge Stephen Amell fan. So this is the perfect role for him to like break out into mainstream. I think
the guy's going to be a superstar.
I think so too, dude. He has it all.
He's going to be a superstar,
and he's gotten so much better as an actor on Arrow too that I think he has potential to be a huge movie star, and he deserves it. So And regardless of all that stuff, just this trailer alone is so awesome. As soon as the music starts playing,
it's tricky.
It's tricky
Yeah,
music, like
so good.
because it starts off like, oh, it's dark. We're in the city, a team of criminals are pulling some heist off, and then you hear the music start playing, and you see their van roll up.
I love that they're shooting sewer caps out of their
that's
their car.
Awesome, dude.
It's
and
cool.
just seeing Casey Jones fight, and I don't mind Bebop and Rocksteady for the tone of these movies. I think they fit, and I actually like that. He's like, oh, y'all got jokes, huh? Like, I thought that was pretty funny. So, and we're gonna get, and like you said, that scene where Casey Jones is rollerblading away from Rocksteady,
yeah.
and like if we get to see him fight them, and like it gives the Turtles a formidable opponent.
So
too.
you have the Turtles and these rhinos and whatever you want to call Bebop or whatever, but a pig. A vigilante, a hockey stick swinging vigilante, helping Turtles fight the bad guys in New York City.
Yeah,
that's pretty freaking awesome.
I mean, I was just like so excited watching this trailer, and I had a smile on my face the whole time, and I don't get that a lot. So I love this trailer. I'm like, before I would like, oh, I'll see it sometime the weekend it comes out. I want to be there opening night now.
Wow. Yeah, it's a fun trailer. I enjoyed the first one. It was definitely fun, and that's all these movies really are to me. Is they're fun, to see the Turtles that we grew up loving and watching. I agree with you guys. I think Stephen Amell is going to kill this. This is the perfect role for him. He can show his charm, charisma, while being funny. I think that's where he's the most strongest as an actor. Tyler Perry, I feel like he might take me out of the movie a couple times.
Wait, who was he again?
He's he created Rocksteady and Bebop.
Yeah.
Or he turned them into Bebop and Rocksteady, I should say.
It's Tyler Perry?
Yeah,
he's the guy with the mustache.
I hope his character is not too over the top.
I would have not been in, but after his performance in Gone Girl, I'm down for anything he wants to try out as far as acting.
Yeah, I mean, he was perfect in that role. And Bebop and Rocksteady, they're cool. I mean, this trailer is everything that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans want to see. You finally have Bebop and Rocksteady. We haven't had them before in a live action. You finally have Casey Jones and the actor playing Casey Jones. That's a fan favorite. And then you have a little bit of sexiness in there with Megan Fox.
Can't go wrong with that.
Like, it has everything. It's fun. So, anything else you guys want to say on it?
No, I'm good.
You guys good?
I loved it.
All right, to our last trailer, The Legend of Tarzan, starring Margot Robbie, Alexander Skarsgård, and directed by Jake. Anyone have an answer?
It is David Yates from Harry Potter.
Yes,
and
that's
it
right.
also stars Christoph Waltz and Samuel Jackson.
And Christoph Waltz and Samuel Jackson.
Jimon Hunsu.
Jimon Hansu.
There you go.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
I butchered the hell out of that.
So Jacob, why don't you start? What did you think of this trailer?
I really liked it, surprisingly. I didn't know what to think of this Tarzan movie. I'm interested in the story. Like, I really love I don't know, did Disney make that animated one?
Yes.
Yeah, I really it was one of my favorites as a kid. And I don't really know much about Alexander Skarsgård.
He's True Blood.
Yeah, he's in True Blood. He's in some small roles here and there.
He looks like the perfect Tarzan, I think. I mean, I love that it's an unknown, Yes. They could have, Jason Momoa is not really known, really, but they could have got somebody that a lot of people know, and they went with someone else. But, they
Bradley Cooper or someone.
They filled the perfect supporting cast around him. Margot Robbie, man, oh man. I get to see her as Harley Quinn and as Jane. She's so sexy. And I didn't even realize Christoph Waltz was in this movie until I watched the trailer. I think he's perfect to play that role. And while lately I don't really like Samuel Jackson, and because he does just the same thing in every movie, even though I loved him in Kingsman, I actually liked him in this trailer. I thought that was pretty funny at the end when he's like, "You're Tarzan," So I get a little feel of Planet of the Apes a little bit with the apes and the gorillas and stuff. I'm just a little confused because it shows Tarzan running with the apes, and then at the end it shows him going to fight one. So
they're probably playing around. That's his best buddy.
And also, there's probably good apes and bad apes.
The ape or the gorilla at the end is his best buddy. I forget his name. But
Well,
it's
that's what I thought, that they're
Yes.
like they're just like dual, like playing
it's a
around.
it's a cool scene, so why not
Yeah,
show it?
like they're just fighting each other for
Yes,
fun, you
yes.
know. So overall, I actually surprisingly really enjoyed this trailer, and I'm looking forward to the movie.
Jake?
Yeah, I like it. I think it's. I mean, if you're going to go into this movie expecting a movie just like the animated movie but live action, you're going to be disappointed because it's going to be a very, very different Tarzan movie. I'm not going to say it's going to be darker, but it's going to be on that more gritty side of a genre. Alexander Skarsgård, yeah, he looks great in the role. It was kind of cool because the trailer kind of kept him away a little bit. Like they didn't highlight him as much. They kept him in the shadows.
And that's how Tarzan is. Like, he's a myth. He's lost in the jungle.
But I love when they're first talking about him, and they're in the like some kind of cave or something, and then you hear him in the background.
Yeah.
Giving a scream,
Yeah.
his classic
iconic,
scream.
Yes.
That was very, very cool. Yeah, I think it's very cool looking. It's going to be a very different Tarzan movie. We've been waiting for a really good live action Tarzan movie after that Brendan Fraser one. Yeah, I thought it was a great introduction to the kind of world they're building. And I mean, what can you say about David Yates? What he did when he stepped into the Harry Potter franchise, what he's doing with Fantastic Beasts, Where to Find Them. I think it's going to be, I mean, it's great to have someone like that on board with this kind of movie. It definitely has me looking forward to it.
Yeah, David Yates definitely brings out the adventure in these type of films. This one's looking to take a modern approach, which is I love it. Like you said, it's gritty, it's dark, which is what a lot of movies are these days. Hopefully, this is a good movie. Whenever I see the name Christoph Waltz outside of a Quentin Tarantino movie, it's always like he's not the problem with the movies. It's always the movies that are the problem. Whether it's Horrible Bosses 2. Or the Green Hornet, or Spectre, it's like this guy. He always brings it to every role he does, but the movies don't always turn out to be. So hopefully that ends with the Legend of Tarzan. I love Margot Robbie in this role. Like she's like almost perfect for any role, and with this one, like I mean, we only see a little bit, but I already love her as Jane.
I'm interested in seeing. Because the trailer almost gave off the vibe like she's been with Tarzan already.
Yeah, because remember, he's Tarzan, you're Jane, he'll come for you.
And always, like, all the Tarzan stories and movies we've seen, they've always, like, met in the movie. So I'm interested in seeing if, like, when the movie starts, like, they're already
know
together.
each other. Well, I think there's going to be a lot of time jumping, too.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be.
That'll be
We're
an
going to go to
interesting
modern
take.
day and tell the origin.
It would be cool to see them, like Jane and Tarzan already be together. And her living there already.
Well,
but,
even the
we'll
synopsis on IMDb says Tarzan, having assimilated a life in London, is called back to his former home in the jungle to investigate activities at a mining encampment. So, modern, like present day, supposedly he's going to be in London.
Well, not like 2015 or 16, but like back in that present day.
Yeah,
like
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
in a present day in the story.
Yes.
Is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to say on the trailer?
No, I mean, I thought the visual effects looked really good, but I can tell that they weren't finished.
Well,
So I'm looking forward to seeing what they look like when they're completely done. Because the Harry Potter films are visually stunning, so I'm looking forward to that because David Yates. And
I'm very excited to see, because with Rise of the Planet of the Apes, we kind of saw what it's like when humans raise an ape. I'm excited to see the reverse.
Yeah.
I want to see in live action these gorillas and apes take care of a human baby. I'm very curious to see how that's executed. So I'm very much looking forward to this movie.
Awesome. Well, let's move on to a little bit of news. Not surprising news. The Hunger Games movie is looking to continue in the form of prequels, according to Lionsgate Vice Chairman. He's quoted saying the franchise will live on, and that he thinks that people wanted to revisit like the arena of the Hunger Games, and that was missing in the last two movies. So, do you guys buy or sell that we'll get more Hunger Games prequels? Do you even buy the idea of Hunger Game prequels?
I completely buy the idea. I mean, this is kind of obvious because it's a money machine, and I think the world does have more to tell. I think whatever we think about the last two movies or the last movie or whatever, they're very enjoyable films and they're very different films, and what they've done with them has been good. I mean, for me, when I first heard, they want to do prequels about the arena, I immediately went to Finnick. I would love to see him in the arena, in his Hunger Games, like what his story, like him meeting Annie and all that kind of stuff, or Joanna or something like that, because we barely got Joanna in the last two movies with all the stuff that went down. So I think the world definitely has more to tell. It makes sense because they're money machines. And it's going to be interesting to see how it goes without Katniss in the story. I think it can work as long as they get, the right story and they don't cheeseball it anyway. But I think it makes sense, and I'm okay with it. I would love to see more Hunger Games movies as long as they're in the arena, because those were the most exciting parts of the first two movies.
Jacob?
I 100% buy this. So the thing that attracted me to Hunger Games so much was the world, and I was always fascinated with how did this come to be? Like, how did they establish the Hunger Games? Like, what drove society in this world to do that? And I think there's some very interesting things you can explore with that. And I feel like doing Finnick and them would be too recent. I want them to go like 50 years back,
to the Capitol uprising,
even 30 years back.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing young Haymitch, and his story.
It's a good call.
Because
BD
you
or
could
something
say
like
Woody
that, yeah.
Harrelson's like 45.
Well,
50?
they would replace him if they went to his.
Well, no, I'm not
yeah.
saying he would play. You could even have like old Haymitch, like
with flashbacks.
Like I was, I went through the Hunger Games, da 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 da. But no, they would do like 14-year-old Haymitch, and it could be the star of the new trilogy. And Gio, I know you had a problem with them splitting the third book into two movies, right?
Yes.
The genius thing about this, there's no books to base this off of. They're going to be creating original stories based on the mythology of the Hunger Games. So it makes sense, and I totally buy it. And I don't think you can blame them for it's a moneymaker, like Jake said. You have to do it. The only hesitation is please wait a little bit. Let the franchise breathe. We don't need it in 3 years. Give it 8 years. Like, I think the reason the last two movies hurt so much is because people got fatigued with year after year after year. Sometimes that works, but I feel like if the movies were spread 2 years apart, they would have been more financially successful.
Yeah.
So, and maybe they rushed making the movies, and that's why the last two didn't perform as well. So, but overall, I'm totally down with this.
I sell this. I have no interest in this. And that's all I really have to say about it. So do you guys have anything else you want to say?
Why? I want to know why you don't have interest in it. Like, what's the reason?
Okay. Well, did you guys read my article on Apocaflix? Yeah, I just feel like, they got greedy and people are losing interest in it. I certainly lost interest in it. Now, I haven't seen Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, and I'm a little bit discouraged to see it. Well, you already know all this, but I mean, Part 1 for me was it was so slow. It was so dragged out. Like it was an obvious, cash grab. They wanted to disservice the fans of the book, the fans of the franchise by, capitalizing the most. And I think that's what is going to hurt them in the long run, because what you gave was, from what I'm hearing, two mediocre to good films that could have been one great film. And whereas people would be more excited for Hunger Games movies than the prequels. And for me, it's just, it's franchise fatigue. I don't know how they're going to do it once Jennifer Lawrence moves on. I mean, she's already moved on, so you lost your star. The audience, it's been proven in the box office that the audiences are not as excited for Hunger Games anymore. So maybe giving it a little bit of a, breathing room could help, but it could also hurt, considering how much comic book movies will have in the next couple of years, considering what video games are going to be doing in the next couple of years, and so on and so forth. So, I mean, for me, I'm not interested in it.
So it's the 4 movies in 4 years?
For what?
That's kind of tired you out?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
So I'm gonna do this again.
Go ahead.
They're making a Star Wars movie every single year.
But Star Wars we're more invested in, because we have more of a
But what if we get tired of it?
history for it.
Is there a possibility?
We've never had Star Wars movies every year, so
Right.
there's always that possibility.
I don't think so. You're doing it
I'm
again.
just
You're
throwing
doing
it
it
out there,
again.
man. I'm just throwing it out there.
Star Wars to Hunger Games. There is no comparison. All right?
I'm not comparing.
I mean,
them.
I-
I'm not comparing them at all.
I don't necessarily
I'm
understand
saying
his hatred for the
I'm
franchise either.
saying
because
a movie
it was a cash grab. They got greedy with
Every
the franchise.
single movie ever made is a cash grab.
Yes.
But
I'm
can
sorry.
any of you justify why it was a good idea to split the final book into 2 films?
Well, there was enough story to tell there for 2 movies.
I don't.
There was.
We'll
No,
see.
I agree with you. I wish it would have been 1 film, but it was about money. But every single movie made is about money. It's just in this case it was just based on source material. What recent thing split the books too? The last Harry Potter book, that was done great.
Yeah, that
as
worked.
far as I know.
Yeah, that worked
So
out well.
it can work. They just didn't execute it correctly.
and it's hurting them, and the box office numbers.
But what about what I said about how these aren't going to be based on source material? They have the freedom based on the mythology to create any story they want. You're not interested in that?
I'm not. No, I'm not.
You loved Catching Fire, right?
I loved Catching Fire.
What if you get another Catching Fire out of this? Like, similar type movie?
It's a long shot, but I mean, we could talk about what ifs all day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
It's interesting. It's very interesting.
I don't know, guys. I mean, like,
No, I just wanted to throw it out there because Marvel, they do 2 movies a year.
but
DC
Marvel
is about to do a movie a
He's
year.
just challenging
like I said,
you.
no. But like I said, these are more.
I'm just saying,
these are more
man.
previously established. Anyways, I don't want to talk about Hunger Games. I'm tired of Hunger Games. So let's talk about another. Thor 3. Kate Blanchett is rumored to. Well, not rumored. Reportedly, in talks to play a role. The role is unspecified, but I mean, when you have Kate Blanchett, it better be a big role, which is what I'm assuming Thor Ragnarok is going to offer for her. So I want to ask you guys, what do you think about this project so far? You have a relatively unknown director in Taika Waititi, who did What We Do in the Shadows. This will be her second directorial effort. And then you have... you originally had 2 people writing this Thor Ragnarok. They were the Thor The Dark World writers, and now another writer in Stephanie Folsom is being brought in. You have Hulk in the Thor movie. So what do you guys think about this, adding Kate Blanchett to Thor Ragnarok? How does this build your anticipation? And if you want to talk a little bit about the previous Thor movies.
Well, I'll just start with Kate Blanchett. That's awesome. She's arguably the best actress working today as far as dramatically. I mean, you can't find much better actress than her. So, and it excites me that she's willing to do a role like this. Like, that's, even though we've seen more prestigious actors working in comic book movies lately, but she could pretty much do anything she wants right now. And she was in Cinderella, which was kind of like a franchise type thing. So I buy her in the movie. I wasn't really aware that they actually booked a director. It's
that's happened
a
a while
female
ago.
director?
No, it's not a female director.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, you had me at Hulk in Thor Ragnarok. I buy Kate Blanchett in it. I'm really curious to see what type of role she's going to play.
I think there's 2 possibilities. Enchantress.
The Loki. Oh my God, that would be perfect. I didn't even think about that. Loki's girl, pretty much. Not his girl, but
yes, she's like another Loki, basically.
a female
and then
Loki.
There's another one that was actually supposed to be either in the original Thor, I think, or even in the Avengers movie, Valkyrie.
Oh, okay.
2 female
Not too
characters,
familiar with
both.
that character,
Well,
but-
the Valkyrie's blonde, Enchantress is green, but that can be fixed, obviously.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
2 very big roles in the Thor world. 2 roles that have actually been previously in scripts for previous Thor movies. In
Really?
fact, yeah, they just kind of put them
Wait,
up.
didn't you say Enchantress showed up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. though?
Her sister.
Oh, okay.
Her sister showed up. So Enchantress is in the world. She's already in the universe.
Does she have another name? Would they have to call her Enchantress?
I'm not positive. I don't know a lot about the whole Thor mythology, but
I remember seeing her in the Avengers animated series.
Yeah.
She showed up a lot.
So I think those are the 2 roles that are possible, and I would prefer Enchantress because I want to see her go evil. I want to see Kate Blanchett go evil and like be the menacing presence in the film. I mean, Ragnarok is a gigantic storyline, and the villain won't be the center part of it because of the whole Ragnarok thing going on. But adding talent like Cate Blanchett, you can never go wrong. She won the Oscar last year
for Blue Jasmine.
She won the Oscar last year. She might be getting nominated again this year for Carol. I mean, 5-6 years ago, we would have never thought Oscar-worthy talent would be signing up for these comic book movies. And you have people like Matthew McConaughey getting, pitches.
Considering roles, too.
Jared Leto taking over the Joker.
Oh, you have, just in the Marvel,
Michael Douglas.
Robert Redford, Tilda Swinton, Chiwetel Ejiofor.
It's pretty crazy to see all these actors and actresses jumping into this world now. It just goes to show how much or how far these comic book movies have come. And Cate Blanchett in a Thor movie, it's really cool. So that's like a Rene Russo again. I mean, I know Cate Blanchett's a little bit bigger, but having Rene Russo in there was just about the same thing. So it's very exciting to see her reportedly possibly joining the movie. So
yeah.
What about you, Gio?
Oh, total buy. I mean, this Marvel is. I love how they're approaching their future movies because you can make an argument that their last 4 or 5 movies have been their best movies in the franchise. Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, and what they're doing here is they're doing the same thing that they're doing for the Spider-Man movie, for the Captain America Winter Soldier movie, where they're bringing on a director who's relatively unknown but has had like one smaller hit, and they're doing that, and then they're bringing in more established performers. And, you have Cate Blanchett, and the possibilities of seeing her opposite a Tom Hiddleston or a Anthony Hopkins, that's amazing. And just what they're doing with these established characters. So I'm excited to see her in it. I have no idea what her role is going to be. It could either be Valkyrie or you said the Enchantress.
Well, I'm going to throw out a theory. So we know that Loki is acting as Odin on Asgard, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we don't know where Odin is.
Right.
What if Loki and Enchantress already got a thing going on, and he sent Odin off to hang out with Enchantress, and she's watching over him?
She's holding him captive.
Yeah.
That would make... Dude, if she plays Enchantress, you can arguably have the 2 best villains in the MCU in the Thor movies. Like, she has that potential. So, like, that would be insane, dude.
I don't... And, again, I'm not saying anything. I'm just throwing the
We're all
idea
speculating
here.
here.
So we have no idea who she's playing. She could be playing freaking Sif's mom for all we know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of possibilities. I'm just saying.
No, because they've done. I want to see more Sif, but they never.
Sif,
I think she's gonna have I think Natalie Portman's out of the Thor movies, and Sif and Thor are gonna.
Sif is the one that she's gonna take a big step in this movie.
I think so. I hope so.
All right, well, we're going to move on to a little bit of exciting news here, especially for you two who have seen Creed. I have not seen Creed yet, but I will watch it soon. So Ang Lee has had a project in development for some time. It's a 3D boxing sort of biopic that's based on the Thriller in Manila. For those who don't know, that's the famous boxing match between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. It was their 3rd match in the 70s after an extreme rivalry. So Ang Lee has sort of put off this project that he wants to do, this vision that he has, because he wants technology to catch up. He wants this project to be sort of like a 3D kind of, deep, like right in like close-up look in the ring of the actual fight between Ali and Frazier. It sounds very exciting. I mean, for anyone who knows Ang Lee's previous work, Life of Pi, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon,
Brokeback Mountain.
I mean, like for like these visual, what he's done for cinema visually, and the kind of effects his films have, is amazing. And for a project like this, which reportedly he's looking at David Oyelowo as Joe Frazier and Ray Fisher, who's starring as Cyborg in Batman v Superman as Muhammad Ali. So he has actors in mind.
Casting for both of them.
So what do you guys think about Ang Lee moving forward with a project like this? Were you ever a fan of these boxing fights, these actors, and what this project has to offer just on the surface?
Yeah, I mean, Ang Lee doing a 3D box. I mean, it sounds awesome. And I mean, we've seen a Muhammad Ali movie before with Will Smith.
Yeah.
But something that's basically it's Ali versus Frazier. It's all about that. It's definitely exciting.
Batman v Superman.
Yeah, it's all about the verses these days. So, I mean, especially after watching Creed, I'm all about the sport movies right now. I went and saw it last night again, and even though it's not in 3D, I mean, those scenes they're so powerful, and to think about like what Ang Lee can do with those kind of scenes and this kind of like backstory, yeah, it's definitely exciting. I didn't know a whole lot about it. I read up on it a little bit, and then having Ray Fisher and Oyelowo jump into those kind of roles, if that happens, and that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely exciting. I know it's been in the works for a very long time. It feels like it's always been
quite a while. Yeah.
It's been going on forever. So to finally get some kind of word on it's cool. And yeah, if it ever happens, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it for sure.
Jacob.
I'm intrigued by it, and it sounds very interesting, and I'll definitely see it when it comes out. But I'm not the biggest boxing fan, so it's not going to be on my top 10 most anticipated for that year. But I'm very intrigued by the technology aspect of it, because if he's waiting for technology to catch up like that, I hope it focuses on story too. I hope he doesn't put all of his effort into making the boxing ring visually stunning, which is going to be the most compelling part about this movie when it comes out if it's done well.
Yeah.
But I just hope he focuses on story. And yeah, we've seen him do visually stunning things with Life of Pi. I believe that movie won Best Director.
Best Director, yeah.
I don't know if it won Best Picture. I think it won Best Director. And then I haven't seen Brokeback Mountain, but it's critically, a good movie,
top notch, yeah.
Supposedly. So in that sense, he can tell story too. So I buy this, and when it comes out, I'll be there.
Yeah. For those of you who read any of my articles or whatnot, I love boxing movies. The fact that I haven't seen Creed yet is a crime. Tragedy. Yeah. So, I'm definitely looking forward to this. I don't think many people out there know that Ray Fisher. He got discovered as Cyborg because of his theater work. He actually starred in a play where he played Muhammad Ali. I don't know what the name of the play was, but
I heard about that. But
he gave a really good performance. So I'm excited to see what he can bring. And David Oyelowo, I mean, Jacob, you talk about him.
He's incredible.
A lot.
He should have been nominated last year.
Yeah.
For Selma.
Yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to this, guys. This is a project I'm going to keep my eyes on, and I'm going to keep talking about every update that happens. We're going to talk about it because I want to talk about it. All right. Moving on, we have last topic. Quentin Tarantino. We all love the Kill Bill films, right? Kill Bill.
I do.
Volume 1, Volume 2.
They're okay. I've never seen Kill Bill Volume 2, so
you recognize the achievement in cinema that he's
They're
done.
okay. I've never seen Kill Bill.
I've seen
2.
I've seen
You
volume.
can't watch the first one.
I've seen Volume 1.
It's one movie.
I've seen Volume 1 once. I didn't get a hold on it. It didn't catch me as much as I wanted to.
So
I'm gonna watch it again, but I've never seen Volume 2.
All right. At least if he does make this movie and before it comes out, do that. All right.
Yeah. So Tarantino teased the possibility of a Kill Bill Volume 3. This isn't the first time he's talked about it. Back in 2009, he talked a little bit about what he wanted to do as far as the story. For those of you who have seen Kill Bill Volume 1, there's like an opening scene featuring a fight between Uma Thurman's character and Vivica A. Fox's character, and
so amazing.
Her Vivica A. Fox's daughter witnesses. Well, she doesn't witness. She comes in and notices her mother is dead by the hands of Uma Thurman, and Uma Thurman says, when you grow up, if you still feel the same way you feel right now, I'll be waiting.
She kind of encourages her to come for her later in
right,
life.
and that's what Tarantino wants to explore with the third one. Back in 2009, he said he's waiting a little bit more. He wants to give Uma Thurman her space and make her a little bit older and make the daughter a little bit older before he revisits that story, but it's something that he definitely wants to do down the road. So what do you guys think about Kill Bill Volume 3? You think it's going to happen? Are you excited about it? The possibility?
I hope it happens. This is a movie that my parents let me watch as a kid, and they probably shouldn't have. But I didn't really have much discipline growing up. But these movies have stuck with me over time, and I haven't revisited them in a while. I want to, and that's arguably my favorite fight scene is between Uma Thurman and Vivica A. Fox. Like, I love that scene, and adding the dramatic element to it of her, it's like terrifying. This little girl sees her mother brutally murdered, like laying on the ground, and this woman says, one day you're gonna want to come after me, and that basically says, I'll be waiting for you.
Yeah.
And that is so intriguing to me. Like, first of all, who are they gonna cast as the grown-up version of that character?
Alexandra Shipp.
That's what I was just thinking. I swear I was just thinking that. That would be amazing.
I know.
And we're going to get to see her fight Uma Thurman. And how's it going to end? Because Uma Thurman's been our hero in this storyline. But at the same time, now this little girl looks at Uma Thurman as a villain. So, like, whose side are we going to be on? Which is going to be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, though, because Quentin Tarantino has been saying, I'm only going to direct 10 movies. I'm only going to do 2 more movies after The Hateful Eight. So if Kill Bill 3 is one of them, then that means we're only going to get one more. I don't believe him when he says that, first of all.
No.
Everyone says they're going to retire and they come back.
That's what he said in an interview.
But then that means if he does stick to that, we're only going to get one more original Quentin Tarantino film. I sell that, but I buy Kill Bill 3 and where they could take the story.
Jake?
Yeah, it's sure. Why not? I mean, like I said, I haven't seen Volume 2 yet, so I guess it would work. I mean, but I kind of do believe him when he says he's only going to stick to 10 movies. Because he said it over and over again, and if he does do Kill Bill 3, it'll be the final film he does to kind of go out on top.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So, I mean, yeah, I'll buy it. I mean, I guess it's kind of cool. I guess I just had to go back and watch him and really kind of try and understand why everybody loves him so much. So,
can I ask you, does that storyline intrigue you? Because you saw the first one, right? So you saw
it intrigues me, yeah.
When Vivica A. Fox gets killed and she tells her daughter, like,
cool.
One day you're going to come for me.
Well, it's funny because he probably did that scene thinking, okay, this is going to be Volume 3.
Yeah. I just find it so fascinating.
Yeah.
Like, even if I wasn't into the movies, like, that just...
No, it's a cool thing. It's a cool thread to take from. I mean, to think that the very first scene of the very first movie sets up a Kill Bill Volume 3, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this. I think it'll happen. It's just a matter of when. I think we'll get an older Uma Thurman back, maybe as an even more skilled fighter. And like I said, Alexandra Shipp, she might kill it, but they might cast an unknown. Who knows? But I'm definitely looking forward to it, guys, and you should be looking forward to it too. The films are awesome if you haven't seen it. Some of Quentin Tarantino's best work.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The action is amazing. Some of the best action I've ever seen in my life.
And the music too.
Yeah.
It's just
it's incredible, man.
Incredible.
Please watch, if you're of age, go watch Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. Just do it all as one movie.
It's on Netflix, guys.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's going to do it for our Apocaflix Movie News Podcast. I want to thank Gio Ramos for collecting the movie news notes. Where can they find you online, man?
You guys can find me on Twitter at GioRamos24 and on apocaflixmovies.com every day.
And I want to thank Jake Berlin for joining us. Where can they find you online?
Twitter, Instagram at Qui-Gon Jake. You can find us at Facebook at Apocaflix Movies. And make sure to check out our Padawan podcast. We are counting down the days until Star Wars The Force Awakens. We are finishing up our road to The Force Awakens today. We're doing our final reviews of The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Make sure you check those out.
Real quickly, I just want to thank everyone who voted for Sunday Showdown last week. I got 16 votes, which for me is an accomplishment.
Isn't that your most votes
That's
so
the
far?
most votes ever. Thank you guys for voting. And vote this week, DiCaprio versus the Oscars. Let me know which film was robbed of an Academy nomination or win.
And I'm your host, Jacob Bartley. You can find me on this YouTube channel every week, putting out a couple videos each week on apocaflixmovies.com. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not. We really appreciate it. And also, didn't mention my Twitter handle, Governor Bartley, and any social media at Jacob Bartley. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you next week.